You don't need another strategy. Here's what you actually need to figure out why you can't implement the things that you already know. I'm Dr. Brooklyn Storme, former psychologist, now business coach, and I help women just like us to build profitable private practices, usually in under 12 months. Being neurodivergent means I see the patterns that other coaches miss, but it also means I'm a truth teller, so I'm not interested in giving you any business advice that sounds good or might be trending, but doesn't actually work for us. Welcome to the Practice Momentum podcast, where we're going to get your private practice sorted out. Thanks so much for being here, and let's get on with the next episode. Welcome back to the show. It is Wednesday, 1st of July, and I've got a great episode for you today. It should go short, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. What I'm going to do is continue on with passive income because it's been getting a really fantastic response. But I was thinking to myself, what could I share with you that could be useful, practical, helpful, and different to what I've already shared? And yesterday, when I was thinking about doing the podcast for you today, I thought, it's end of financial year. I haven't done any sales or anything, but this could be a good opportunity to demonstrate how to do one and how you don't need to put loads and loads of effort in, right? It doesn't have to take you that long. So I got it in my head that I wanted to show you the quickest, easiest, simplest way to make some money. And I'm just going to tell you what I did and how I did it. So the first thing that I did after having the idea was I set a goal. So I thought to myself, okay, I want $1,000. I want $1,000 because I want to get some molding for my walls. I'm big on molding at the moment. I don't know why, but I want to get some molding. So I thought, great, I'll just say for myself, because money has to have a purpose, right? Otherwise it doesn't manifest. So I'm like, okay, this money that I'm making is going to buy the molding and pay for the installation for it in my sort of lounge room dining area. I got super excited then, right? Lit a fire in me, very excited, could see it all on the wall in my mind's eye. And I was already picturing, what am I going to put inside the paneling? Will I paint it? Will I, get some wallpaper? Anyway, the next thing that I ask myself was, okay, what have I already got? And so that's very important for you to hear, because you don't have to go make something from scratch. You don't have to go into Canva. You don't have to use somebody else's templates. Your customers are going to buy from you because they want your energy in it, in the sense of it's got to be based on what works for them, your perspective, your take on things. You have so much stuff made already that's probably on the desktop, on your laptop or your computer, or it's in your Google Drive or your cloud drive storage somewhere. Like, you've got stuff, okay? So use what you've got. Leverage is the word, right? It was spaciousness. I feel like I've got my spaciousness now. It's the second half of the year, and now my new word for the next 6 months is leverage. I don't want to be making stuff. I want to leverage what I've already got. And I recommend that for you too. So have a look what you've already got. Chances are you've already got stuff that you regularly share with clients, right, in sessions, and you probably aren't even charging for it. Even if it looks to you like it's a simple worksheet, that's perfectly okay. It can be anything, okay? So look at what you've already got. Take a quick inventory of that. And then what you're going to do is just give it a quick squeeze, right? Now, you already know it works because you've been using it. You've already been getting great feedback on it. But this is now going to go out to people who aren't working with you, and maybe they know you, maybe not. So just have a quick look. Is there anything that you want to change that might be really helpful? So for example, if you've got a worksheet that you give people on the 4 horsemen or something like that, do you now want to add like a cover sheet or a cover letter or a back page that's got some information about your practice, a link so that people can book a call with you or something like that, right? Do you just want to go and throw that into the back of it? I would just say make yourself a template of that back page and then just go and copy and paste it into, whatever resource you're going to sell, and it'll just save you so much time. So there's that. So take what you've got that you're already using, that's already working, that's already getting good feedback, but you just haven't thought to sell it. Start there. And then what I asked myself was, well, what's the easiest way to sell it? So a couple of things here. An initial thought was, okay, I can just go and put everything on Etsy. And then I was kind of like slumped over in my chair because I knew it's going to take forever, because doing stuff on Etsy can take ages. If you've ever done it, and I mean, you do it well meaning it converts and you regularly get sales. Like I woke up to another Etsy sale this morning, which is great. The amount of work that goes into getting it set up, right? Once it's up and it's listed, no problem. You make sales in your sleep like I do. But that initial, it's like I say to my clients, it's the airplane uses 70 or 80% of its fuel on the takeoff. It's no different selling digital products. I think we all get very excited about making a digital product, but then we hate the selling part, or we don't understand the selling part, or we avoid the selling part. And then it's just sitting there on our website and we're like, my stuff isn't selling, passive income doesn't work for me. Maybe I'll make a course. No, courses are a lot of work for very little return unless you know what you're doing. And the resistance that so many people have, like even, people that book a discovery call with me and they want help with their private practice, they want help with the passive income for their private practice, they'll tell me that, they're already making a course. And I say, okay, stop. And I talk them through what you and I've discussed before. But they still have so much resistance, and then they come back like weeks later, sometimes months later, and they're like, yeah, I didn't sell any, I need more steps. I need more. No, you should just listen to what I was sharing with you at the beginning. You didn't test the market. You didn't validate the offer first. You didn't build it, together with your audience. You just went off on your merry way and made the thing and prayed that it would work. You didn't promote it because that felt icky to you and there were mindset issues and da. No, you need to burn that down, start again. Maybe put that one on the shelf as a bit of a lesson of how not to do it, and try doing it the easy way. Okay. But anywho, I think courses are for professionals. I think get a few digital sales of other things under your belt first. I think people think courses are going to be big money and they're just going to be so easy to sell. But I tell you what, it takes the same amount of effort to sell a $7 product as it does to sell a $12,000 product. Take it from somebody who has experience. I sell $7 products and $12,000 products. The effort is the same, okay? But the rewards are different, right? Rewards being how helpful you can be, how useful you can be to somebody, how much you can help somebody shift something, like all of the things. And people are at different stages, and it's really nice, feels really, really good to be able to help people who are at different stages, right? For you as well as for me, yeah? So anyway, getting back to what I did. So I took a quick inventory. Now, you know me, I'm all over AI. I just nearly said that I'm the queen of AI, which I'm totally not. I would never say that, but I'm fully into it, as you know. And so I've got this community called the Therapist Resource Hub, and, share AI tools in there. But I also have some AI tools that I've created in my own business, and I use them all the time, and I love them. And they just save me so much time. And so I thought, why not just sell my AI stuff? So then I thought, I'm not going to put it on Etsy because I just don't have time. Because the other thing was, between having the realization this was what I wanted to do for you yesterday, I realized that I also had clients in the morning. And then anyway, blah, blah, blah. So I did clients in the morning, and then what was happening in the afternoon? I don't even remember, yesterday just feels like a year ago. It was such a busy day for me. I think, Buddy and I, we had to go out and get an underlay for the bed. I wanted to get a woolen underlay for the mattress. And I'd planned on just going and getting it in the afternoon because I try not to work in the afternoons. But it was so late, I think it was 4:30 or 4:45 when I was backing out of the driveway. So, and then anyway, didn't get back till, I don't know, whatever time, 6:30 or something like that. It was pitch black, raining. And then I was sort of sitting down, just about to have my tomato soup with my crusty roll. And I remembered, oh, yikes, I haven't put all the stuff up. So anyway, I put some stuff up, but not all of it. So anyway, I got together my AI stuff. Thought, not gonna put it on Etsy. Then I thought that quickest and easiest thing for me to do would be just like create Stripe checkouts. So I didn't even make sales pages for these things. I just had a Stripe checkout, which only lets you have 400 or 500 characters of text to describe what the tool is and what it does, and blah blah blah. But anyway, did it. Used ChatGPT to whip up some images, which they're not fantastic. I would probably never use them in real life, so to speak. But I was in a fix, and I just like whacked them up with the on the checkout for Stripe. I put the prices up for everything. I thought about my prices, and it was interesting because I was very intentional with the pricing, because I wanted to make sure that the people who were buying the tools would be able to go and use them, right? I didn't want to be giving them away for $5 because they took me time to create, time to test, time to improve, time to refine, all of the things. And they work really, really well. Like one of the tools that I put up was an Etsy listing tool, and you use AI, and it like pretty much makes the whole listing, description, title, tags, all the things. It's a whole thing. But I can smash through an Etsy listing in probably maybe 15-20 minutes, whereas it would normally take maybe 2.5 hours for one. So yeah, it's fire. And I knew that that would be so useful and so valuable to somebody. So I priced everything accordingly is what I am saying. I didn't like put $5 on everything, priced accordingly. I think everything was either 97 or 147 or 49, like things like that. And then I thought, okay, so like I've got them up. And then the other thing that I did to increase sales was on each checkout page, you can add products or you can add recommended products. So I added recommended products, and I was careful to make sure that the products I was recommending on the main product checkout page made sense, right? So for the let me see, because I've got my little scratch pad over here. What did I do? Right, so I have a tool that analyzes the responses that a potential client writes on their discovery form for you, and pulls out things like their beliefs, their values, their mindset, their readiness to work with you, all of that kind of stuff, puts in a great format for you. I think it's PDF from memory, and it gives you some questions that you might want to ask on the call for your own peace of mind to clarify readiness, or, da 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 da. So anyway, that was the main thing that I was selling. And then the two recommendations was the therapy landing page, because they can use that to get people to sign up for the discovery call. So that made sense. And then I also recommended the Psychology Today profile optimizer tool, because that made sense. Because if they're looking to get discovery calls, they probably want more. And I know a lot of clients that get my stuff or work with me do so because they're struggling with things like directories. So do you see how they all had to be related? Like if for that discovery call form analyzer, I put something on there like, what else have I got? Like my social media repurposing tool, it wouldn't make any sense and it wouldn't get bought. So that's what I'm saying. Like I made sure that I had options for add-ons that were relevant to the main product. Okay. So all I did literally was, I've just got I'm very old fashioned, right? Spirax, the yellow big binders with the spiral. I've just got one of those, and basically I've got 3 columns, and the first column has the name of all of the tools, and then the second 2 columns were space where I could write down the tools that were going to be recommended. So each little checkout page had the opportunity for people to get the tool they were buying plus, complementary tools that would complement what they were buying, enhance the value of the initial. So I did that. And then I thought, oh, the other thing that might work is making a coupon code. So I did that. So you can make promo codes in Stripe. So I went and made a promo code, just a general one. And then I selected all of the products that I had just listed that day, yesterday. Selected all of those. And it just meant then, and I made it 40%. And you might be thinking, oh gosh, like that's so much, like that's nearly half of what you'd be making and everything. But you know what? I see passive income as passive. I see it as, for me at this point, it's just extra, right? It's the $1,000 for the molding on my walls, right? It's just extra. I'm not relying on it to survive. And 40% works really well, because think about it. If you were out at the shopping centre, and there was a sale and the sale said, oh, come and buy this stuff and you can get 10% off, you're probably going to be like indifferent. If it said 20% off, you might be a little bit more curious. If it said 30% off, you might be maybe even a little bit more curious, right? But if it said 40% off for 24 hours, that's probably going to inspire you to walk over and start poking around in the store. That's what I want. I wanted people to come around, poke around, have a little bit of a look. So that's why I did the 40%, and it just works. It just works. What else? And I think too, when you do 40%, it means that, well, if people buy, 2 products, it's almost for them the experience of buying one, getting one free, right? That's what it can feel like. And I want my clients to feel like they got a bargain, like, there was something very exciting for them. I want them to feel like very special, like the cat that got the cream. I want them to have that really good feeling when they buy a product. So there was that. And then the other thing that I did, so I think I said to you a moment ago, it was like 6:30 when I realized I hadn't finished. That's not true, because I'm remembering differently now. I had everything finished by, hang on, I wrote it down. Where is it? I had everything finished before I went to the shops. Here we go. It was all finished at 2:15. Okay. All up, it probably took me about 90 minutes to do. But I'm fast. I was just going bang, bang, bang. And like once you got the first 1 or 2 done, then you're in the rhythm and you just go. But I got them done. I set up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I set up 9 and then linked 2 products to most of them. There are a couple that I didn't. And then at 2:18, I sent an email to my entire list just to let them know, hey, there's this thing. And all I did was I just pretty much copied and pasted the short descriptions of each product into the email and hyperlinked. That's right. I used Flowdesk, and I used the section called, you can add sections into the email, and it was called layouts. And I just went into layouts and I chose a layout that I thought was going to be okay for me being in a rush, number one, and wanting to do this quickly, but also that it would still look okay. And it was, just for those of you who haven't seen it, it was like image on the left, and then the image kind of overlapped a text block on the right. That was pretty much it. So I just went and uploaded all my ChatGPT images basically, and then put like a 1-sentence description of what it does, and then linked each image to Stripe. So that was it, basically. Sent that out at 2:18. And then at 2:30, I thought, I should go and put this on Facebook. So I just pretty much opened up the email, copied and pasted everything, and whacked it into the Facebook group that I've got. Now, this is what I'm saying, like promos just don't work so well in groups. Like this group has 8,200 people in it or something, it's got like a 40% activity rate, which means like any given week, roughly half the people go into it and do something, which is great. But this was a 24-hour sale. It finishes at like, 2:15 today or 11:59 tonight, whatever. It's 24 hours-ish sale. And I went and posted this in my community, and of 8,200 people, well, last night when I went to bed, it had a total reach of 95. Like, Facebook doesn't love it when you promote stuff in communities. That's why it doesn't really work. But I wanted everybody to know that it was there anyway. And then I was sitting down when I got back. This is the bit that I got confused about. I was sitting down when I got back. It was 6 o'clock, sitting there watching TV with Buddy, and realised, I should probably put this on my Facebook business page because that might get a little more reach. So I did that, and then I remembered Facebook business pages traditionally don't get that much reach, and if it didn't love it in my community, it's probably not going to love it on my page. But I just wanted to throw my hat in the ring. I did it anyway. And then at the same time, I thought, let's just copy and paste the whole thing again and whack it in LinkedIn and see what happens. Now, I don't know. I mean, LinkedIn, it marches to the beat of its own drum a little bit. I'll go and have a look. I haven't had a look this morning and seen what any of the insights are. I don't think it's going to be much because there's a lot of competition for posts for end of financial year, right? So your stuff gets lost. It's probably only going to be seen by a handful of followers because I rarely use LinkedIn. I mean, you see for yourself, it's like once every 6 or 7 weeks I'll post something. I rarely use it. So for me to just suddenly turn up and sell something is probably a bit weird for my audience. But anyway, I did it. And then late last night, probably, 9:30, 10 o'clock, I thought, I haven't put it in my stories. So then I quickly whacked up a story on my personal profile, just to say I've got some therapy resources you can grab end of financial year, 40% off. Here's, a couple of them, and read click the link below to go to the Facebook post and, get them if you want them. So I did that, and then I thought, you can also do posts, stories on your business page. So I clicked back into the business page and clicked a story. So the whole marketing was pretty much one piece of content that got repurposed a lot, not in an ideal way because I was rushing. But anyway, I did what I told you not to do. I literally used the same piece of content and spammed the internet with it. It was the same content went out in the email, in my Facebook community, my business page. I didn't put it on my personal profile, my business page, LinkedIn, and then it went to personal profile stories, business page stories. And that was it, okay? So, it's a very tight window. I mean, for that email to have gone out, 2:18 p.m., like, who's going to see it? It's not the best time. Emails tend to work best first thing in the morning. Anywho, and I wasn't really promoting until there were things with the promos going to 10 p.m. But anyway, where are we at? You ask, where are we at? I can tell you exactly where we're at. The goal was $1,000 in the 24 hours, and we are currently at $313.62. So, ta-da! Yes, there's still, 687 to go. I'm not worried. I know it will come through. I'm not worried. But anyway, I just wanted to share this with you so you can see what it looks like. So I've just shared with you what I did that generated an extra $313, right, pretty quickly. What I learned was some items sell better than others. So some items were in more demand than others, as happens, right? This is why you can't just sell 1 or 2 things. You heard I was selling 9 in this sale, and there were 2 or 3 clear winners. So I know leverage that, make them better, make them more improved, That was really helpful. So I can that's data, right? I can also see things that didn't get clicked on, that didn't get a look at all. That's also helpful data. Doesn't mean I'm bad at digital products. It just means they weren't relevant. The few people that saw them weren't interested in those things right now. Perfect. The other thing that worked really well was having the recommended products. That worked really well. Lots of people took advantage of that. The other thing that worked really well was the coupons. Everybody used the 40% off coupon. So that's great. The other thing that worked really well was a lot of the AI tools that I was selling were to use with Claude AI, but I had said that if you're interested in any of these tools, but you don't use Claude, don't want to use Claude, and you want them for ChatGPT, let me know, because if it's a tool that I'm able to adapt, I can and I will. But just understand, like, Claude's got way more functionality than ChatGPT when it comes to these kinds of resources. So if I can, I will. So that helped, because this morning I've got 3 emails from people asking me, can I turn some of my skills into a tool that they could use with ChatGPT. So I know that's more sales right there if I get my butt into gear and do it. And then what else? The other thing that I wanted to talk about was what I did, what I learned, what I do differently next time. So what I do differently next time is plan ahead. Like, I just didn't give this enough time. I was rushing to see if it was possible to make $1,000 from my digital products in 24 hours. We're still within the 24 hours. I don't know where it's going to end. I'll update you on Saturday. We're like a third of the way there. So I feel like this is totally doable. So next time I'll give myself more time, I would, instead of just like posting one story like 2 hours before midnight, I would probably post multiple stories because they get loads more views. And I would have done like a relevant story for each particular product and got it out there. I probably would have shared it in Facebook communities. I probably would have resent the email to everybody that didn't open it and use a different subject line. But because I'm still within the 24 hours, you're not allowed to resend. You've got to wait until that clicks over. So it just means that people who didn't open it are going to miss out, which is great for the people who did open it. And it keeps me in integrity, which is good. So there's some of the things that I do, but I would also make sure that I had proper images. I'm very big on images. You've heard me talk about it before. If you've ever worked with me, I always talk with you about the image is what sells it. People buy with their eyes. My images were okay, but they probably weren't the types of images that would light you up with excitement of, oh my gosh, I've got to get this thing, right? So I would take more time with the images. So that's it. And I wanted you to see, if I was able to do this, a total of 90 minutes roughly, generated, 2 session fees or more roughly, and it's still sales will still be coming in, you can do it too. And you heard there that the way that I did it was by using things I already had. I didn't go make big sales pages. I didn't go into Thrivecart. I wasn't in Kajabi. I didn't need any fancy stuff. I just used the checkout function on Stripe, and I made it happen, right? I didn't go and put all of these on my website, right? And there wouldn't be much point anyway, because the whole thing is I would have to drive traffic over to it, which just adds another step. It's much better if I just go out to my audience and get in front of them over there and just say, hey guys, I've got this thing for you, rather than try and make extra steps for myself and for them in a rush to say, hey, blah, 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 go over to my No, it's too hard. The other thing that I think probably made this a bit tricky is when you're posting on Facebook, you get like penalized for putting links in original posts. You've got to put them in the comments. So just if you're going to do this, just helpful for you to know. And there's something else I was just going to say then. Yes, about repurposing the content. That would be the other thing I would do differently next time. I think because I was in a rush, I got lazy and I just used that same piece of content everywhere. I think if I did this again, like maybe if I do it, I don't know, 31st of July for some reason, and I took what I'd done, implemented the lessons that I just told you I'd learned as a result of this, and I tried again on the 31st of July, and I just said, I'm going to do it again. Watch me, see how it goes, see how it unfolds. Let's see what the difference is. We can do a compare and contrast to when I did the 30th of June / 1st of July sale. We'll have a look. We'll be able to see what the difference was. Yep. So you can absolutely do it. The other thing too is I woke up to sales on Etsy this morning. Now these products weren't listed on Etsy as you heard, but Etsy is where I have other digital products that I make daily passive income from. So there are lots of different ways that you can make the passive income, and it doesn't have to be hard work. It doesn't have to be a lot of work. You heard how, like, I messed this up with poor content. I didn't have a marketing plan. Like, the email went out at 2:18 and then, sharing about it on Facebook and stuff was an afterthought at dinner time. And then putting it on my stories was an afterthought before I went to bed. So you heard how I messed that up. You heard how I just used a checkout, which only gave me like 4 sentences to sell something. This was not hard. I didn't have to jump through a lot of hoops. It didn't need to be big. And I still made hundreds of dollars in hours. You can do it too. Listen to what I'm doing. Hear the hear the lessons, and give it a go for yourself. The biggest thing that I can say to you is I think you're going to probably lose time creating stuff. It happens. It's fun to create. We all love to create things. We've all got loads of ideas. But if I sat down and created, 9 tools from scratch, there's no way I could have got this up and running and made a few $100 in a few hours. No way. Take what you've already got. Leverage what you already have that works, is useful, helpful. Okay? And if passive income is something that you would like to introduce to your business too, and you're ready for some support and some guidance around that and would like my help, go ahead and book a discovery call with me. I would love to hear a little bit more about, your interest in passive income, what you want it to do for you. Is it more about giving you back your time? Do you want to cut back one-to-ones? Like, is it for lifestyle? Is it for, you want to be able to travel the world and still make money? Like, what is it? What's the goal? What are you thinking about creating? All those kinds of things. And then if I can help you, I absolutely will. And we can talk about what that could look like for you. If not, then I'll point you in the right direction of either somebody else who can, or a course that I know of, or a resource or something like that. So just head over to my website, brooklynstorme.com, and feel free to go and book a discovery call. All right, my lovelies, have a beautiful day. Bye. And that's a wrap for this episode of the Private Practice Podcast. So as you reflect on today's insights, imagine creating real success in your private practice without going down rabbit holes or exhausting yourself with business activities that don't move the needle. With Practice Momentum, you have push of a button help available on demand. It's like having an expert in your pocket ready to guide you whenever you need it. Visit brooklynstorme.com to discover how Practice Momentum can transform your approach to building a thriving practice. I'm Dr. Brooklyn Storme, and I'll see you next time as we continue exploring the mind, business, and spirit of private practice success.